DJing can be really overwhelming. There's lots of knobs, lots of buttons, so many concepts to really get down. This has been a lifelong journey for me. I started DJing back in the 90s. I've been teaching people how to DJ for over 20 years now. And one of the common questions I get, which is the reason why we're doing this video, is what is the most important concept that you need to know as a DJ? And despite all of the things that one should know, like how to scratch, what equipment to purchase, how to build a brand, how to network properly, how to do cleaner transitions, the most important one centers around this concept that I'm going to show you right now. And it has to do with the transitions. A huge part of what we do as a DJ is we're trying to create a vibe or keep the vibe going or get a dance floor going and keep them dancing. So having seamless transitions that go from one song to the next in a way that doesn't throw people off and get people to stop dancing, or where it really feels as though the tracks were made to go together, even though they're not. Like this is a Bob Marley song and a Taylor Swift song. They weren't designed to go together, but we found a way to make that work. This is the secret sauce that I want to be able to give you today. So let's jump in. Before we even explain it, I just need to show you what we're about to do, okay? Because I know that your attention, you need to be able to see the end result. So here it is. Song is playing. Where do we come in? Right here. There it is. Okay, so what are we talking about? This is a concept I like to call the anatomy of the mix. Now, this is also tied to something that we also call hot cue strategy. So we're going to cover anatomy of the mix, also hot cue strategy, plus I'm going to sprinkle in a couple of other things here because there are other things that you need to know about this, including some basic music theory, understanding BPM, and understanding how to do some basic fundamental things on the board. So we're going to get into all of that. I do want to just point this out. What I'm about to do is I'm going to reference this book, which we put out this book not too long ago. This is First 50 DJ Concepts You Should Know. This is a really great one to grab. And anatomy of the mix is in here, so is BPM. And then what I want to just show you is I want to give you a snapshot of what we're talking about. So take a look at this. So this is from our Start to DJ Level 1 book. You'll see song A is playing. As song A was playing, now I'm bringing in song B underneath it. For a period of time, I'm actually hearing both songs. For a period of time, I'm hearing both songs play together. And then at some point, I'm now out of song A and fully into song B. This is what's creating that seamless transition. I remember back when, before I even started DJing, I was listening to the radio and hearing DJs play songs where they weren't playing the full length of the song, and then you would hear the other song kind of coming up underneath it. And I could never figure out how are they doing that until I learned that, oh wow, they've got something that looks like this. At the time it was turntables and a mixer. It was like, oh, this is allowing them to control two things at once. So song A, song B, and then I'm using my volume faders to be able to hear both at the same time during that transition point. Understanding this is fine and well, and most DJs who've been DJing, even for 5 minutes understand that part of it. The part that I'm going to show you is not that today. What I'm going to show you is how do we figure out when to get in and out. And not only how do we figure out when to get in and out, but how do we create a system, or how do you adopt my system, to then be able to make this foolproof, where then you start getting into a habit of every time that you play, you already know how to get in and out of songs. And not because you've memorized a set list, but because you actually know the music. This unlocks a whole nother level for you as a DJ and for you and your confidence as a DJ. All right, so let's go on to the whiteboard. I want to show you something over here. Okay, so this is what we were talking about, right? Song A is playing and song B is then going to come in under it. So let's call this song A. Ooh, that's very big. Let me make this a little bit thinner here in terms of thickness. Okay, so I've got song A and this one is song B. Now, they have to be within the same BPM range, right? So this song that was playing was 104, and really what my BPM range is going to be plus or minus 4. So if I had a song that was 104, that means I'm looking for a song that's anywhere between 100 to 108 to be able to mix with it, right? Because not everything is going to mix with everything else. So this song is 103 that I used in my example. 104 and 103, will these two go? Yes. Thumbs up. These will go. So as this is playing, what I want to do is I want to get this 103 to now be 104. And in the example I just showed you, I hit beat sync in order to do that. But we can also learn how to manually beat match and be able to do it that way as well. So as song A is playing, we're going to get to a different part of the song. Now this part of the song, I want to try to aim for one of the high points of the song. And then underneath here, I'm going to bring in the intro underneath here. But what part of the song is this? Well, in order to figure that out, we've got to talk a little bit about some basic music theory. So let's look at how a song is created. So we have 5 different parts of the song: intro, verse, chorus, bridge, outro. What is the part of the song that everybody knows and wants to sing along with? Well, that would be our chorus, right? Like that typically would be even the part of the song that everybody has memorized. They can't wait for it to get to that part. Imagine if you cut the song before the chorus. You're getting ready, boo, right? It's a quick way to get a boo, is to not know where the chorus is. So not only do we need to know where the chorus is, but we need to know how long the chorus is. So we're going to wait for the chorus. Now, in the case of like electronic dance music, or commonly referred to as EDM, basically any type of dance music that has a drop, has a beat drop, which is essentially the same kind of concept. This is why I put them on the same line. So we're waiting for that drop. Now, we could also potentially mix out on the bridge or maybe on the outro. These would be 2 other options that we could go with. Now, another quick question, I won't ask you a question, I'll actually just tell you. Most songs have more than one chorus, but not every chorus is the same length. So some choruses are shorter, some are longer, and in general, when it comes to music as a whole, there is a little bit of a formula, but also the reason why we all love music is because there's variety in music. So, I mean, imagine if every song had an 8-bar chorus. Every song had an 8-bar chorus. We would probably get tired of music. Right? So there is this variety that exists. So a big part of our job is solving how long those pieces are. And in fact, actually, while I'm here, let me actually give you another analogy. So let's say I gave you 2 Lego sets. I gave you a Millennium Falcon from Star Wars that was already built, and I also gave you a giant roller skate that was also already built. And I said, all right, here are these 2. Now I want you to figure out how you can put these 2 together. What would you need to do first? You'd probably need to start taking them apart a bit, right? To then be able to figure out, oh, wow, there's this piece right here. There's an 8x8 piece right here. And then, oh, here, there's this like 8x8 piece here. That's where they can fit. That's what we're doing as a DJ. All right, so coming back to this. So this now that we know this would be our chorus. And now what we need to do is we need to figure out how long is this? Like, how long is this? And what we're not referring to is time. So we're not referring to seconds. What we're referring to is in terms of beats or bars. So I should just give you this real quick. And I know I was going to throw a bunch of stuff at you in this lesson because it's important. But a beat is a head nod. Okay? I know it sounds simple, but it's the easiest way and the most accurate way to define a beat. A beat is a head nod. And a bar is 4 beats in our case, right? So 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. 3, 2, 3, 4. So on and so forth. So now let me show you this. So in this particular example, this actually is 8 bars. And the intro that I have for the other one is also 8 bars. Well, now this makes it really simple because now when the chorus is about to start, I get the intro ready and I start the one of the intro on the one of the chorus. I have them beat sync together, right? Now this is 104 and 104. They'll beat sync together, so now they'll play together until the end of the chorus and the end of the intro in which I'm into the next song. right? So this is the anatomy of the mix. This is that box top of the puzzle. The most important thing that you need when you're building that Lego is to understand, if you just got it in a bunch of pieces, that wouldn't really help you. But if you had the picture of what you were meant to build, that's what this is. That's what we're doing here. Okay, so now, one last thing before we mix them together. While we're doing this, a very important thing to keep in mind is we cannot have vocals over vocals. We can't. It sounds crazy. So out of this, like if we were both to talk at the same time, we wouldn't be able to understand what was going on. In fact, actually, we do this example a lot of times and gets a lot of laughs. But, you know, if I had somebody else in the room, I'd have them start talking. As they were talking, I'll just jump in and start talking. And then who are you listening to, right? That's what's happening when we're trying to mix two sections that have vocals at the same time. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to look at this, and the one that probably has vocals is the chorus. Therefore, the intro needs to be instrumental, just beats, right? So in this case of what we've built here, what I want to do is I'm going to mix it again. And now that I've mixed it again, I want you to pay attention to when I come in and when I get out. And then I also want you to pay attention to the color of where I'm getting in and where I'm getting out. In fact, actually, let me just show you this real quick. So let me switch you so you can see. All right, so do you see that there's a red point right here? And it says, if you look at it, it says chorus. All right, it says chorus. So I've already gone ahead and found the chorus, and I marked it off with something called a hot cue. So this is now getting into our hot cue strategy. On the other side, you'll notice that I've got this first one here, which is also red. So in my system, red means 8 bars. I'll say it again, just in case you missed it. In my system, red, the red hot cue means 8 bars. I'm using the hot cues to tell me the length, because that's the most important thing that I need to know. Whether it's an intro or a verse or whatever, that part is not as important as knowing the length of it. So if I were to come back over here and look at this, what you'll see then is I have this red point. This would be my instrumental intro. I'll write that in there. Now I'm in Serato right now, but you can do this in every DJ program. You can do this. I also have the ability to change the colors. And by the way, I can't take all the credit for this. One of my old students, I wish I could remember who it was, but we were in a private session. This was years ago, and they asked, what do the colors mean for the hot cues? And I was like, they don't really mean anything. And the student asked, but can they mean something? And I said, yes, they could. And that's how this was born. So my first iteration of this was not meaning length. The first time I did this, I just started setting green points for chorus. And so every chorus would have a green point. But that's not as useful to me. Like when I'm up here and I'm about to perform, if I can glance over and just sort of see, oh yeah, the intro is red and the way to get out on the other one is red, right? Like that's what I'm looking at right now. Red and red. Cool. Now all I have to do is line up red and red. In fact, let's try it. So here we go. Here we go. Red and red. And now this is 4 bars. I got another 4 bars to go. 3, 2, 1, and we're out. Now the crazy part about this isn't just in mixing these 2 songs together, because originally that's the way that I used to DJ. Was I would think of this song and then I found this other song that would fit with it. So then every time I played song A, I played song B, and I would even memorize when he says this, then I start this one. The problem with that is what happens when I miss that point. Stress, right? Like that in that moment, right? And even then, even if I always hit that point, which that's not going to happen, but let's say I always do. The other challenge, though, is that then I am only playing song A before song B. And anytime I want to play song B, I need to play song A because that's the way I know to get into it. What happens when song A is no longer popular anymore? Or what happens when song B, just you get the idea. Doing this and using the hotkey strategy that I've just shown you here will help you unlock the endless possibilities of pieces that will fit together. This literally is like breaking those Lego bricks down and now being able to create almost anything. And yes, while those pieces were designed originally to make the Millennium Falcon, and these pieces were originally designed to make that roller skate, I now have the pieces. And so I can make however many different combinations of things that I can create with those different pieces. Please feel free to reach out to us. We would be more than happy to help you. I hope that you found this helpful, and we'll see you on the next one.